What's the deal? Welcome back to my channel. Now we got an interesting video here. Now this video is about 9-to-5 workers versus streamers. Now I seen a clip of this like on my TikTok and they was rage baiting, so I'll give some of this stuff a pass that we gonna see. But I will say, like, some of these people that's 9-to-5 workers, and which I am a 9-to-5 worker, and trying to do like this YouTube junk at the same time, I will say that these people are not with today's time. So like they kind of think that doing this type of like stuff far as a career or a job, they do not like agree with this. They want people to like basically fall in the same old trap rat race of working for somebody 9-to-5, being in a tight schedule, working paycheck to paycheck. Like, streaming is not this, bro.
That's what I'm playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
So let's see what they tapping in about. We gonna probably do this in parts, because it's a 40-minute video.
Same old different day.
They're pretty normal.
So my argument here is that streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9-to-5. Facts.
Yes.
Not facts, bro. 9-to-5 is
Yes.
way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
Now,
See, that's
this I don't agree with, because you can't just come on YouTube, you can't just come on TikTok and expect to make money. 9-to-5, you guarantee a check at the end of the week. Guaranteed check, or if not, every 2 weeks. It's guaranteed. Now, if you streaming, like, bro, you ain't about to get no paycheck if you ain't got nobody watching you, or you ain't getting no views. Same difference. So, with this mindset of saying 9-to-5 is so much more easier, bro, you the one that want to work for them pennies. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I ain't saying like I'm working for pennies, but like I'm working and I'm doing YouTube. So it's like, you can't really say that if you ain't never done YouTube. But you know, he old school.
thing is, you're right. You get up every day, you go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up, you go, you flip some patties, maybe you sign a few envelopes, answer a few phone calls. With streaming and social media,
Let him talk.
you have to be on your game 24/7. It's like a switch that never
when you're a
turns
mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We
I'm
have to
still
deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of people
Bullshit.
critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
decision we make, every thought we
You guys
have.
got it made, man. I wish I had it made like y'all.
We don't have to
What? Bro, like, and everybody path when going up on this like, we can say like the streamer, grind. Bro, everybody ain't got the same paths. Some people blew up in one video. Some people, it took years, bro. There's some people still grinding. Like, some of these people blew up during the pandemic. But to have it seem like people got it made, bro, come on, bro. Like, bro, this streaming junk hard, bro. It ain't easy, bro. You can't just pick this junk up and be like, oh yeah, I'm about to be at 1 million followers. No, nigga. Cause YouTube gonna hold the hell out your ass. You gonna get them 5 views. So you gotta be locked in for real, like he said.
I wish.
sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox.
Man,
We
you
have
got
to
it
be,
gravy, bro.
What's the next trend?
Because
What's the
the
next
shit I
idea?
go through every
Oh my
day,
God, I have to
got
stream
dogs,
today.
And I got dogs that want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You got
high energy,
I wish I
24/7.
could be at home like you and kick back and get paid
I don't
big
even.
money.
We're not even at home. We're walking around. We're
Man,
walking
I
around
wanna
doing
do
things,
all of
going
that
to
because
parties, doing
the
all this
shit
stuff.
I gotta slave just for not even 100,000 a year. I gotta work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
No, I'm
Just
not.
said that.
You're not guaranteed?
I don't.
Guarantee money at the end of the week. Guarantee money at the end of the week. When you grinding on this YouTube jump, bro, you get paid monthly, bro. You get paid monthly if it's a different platform like TikTok or Twitch. You got like people who don't know and donate and stuff and whatnot. But who's all getting that? Not everybody. So let's narrow it down. So now you streaming, you posting videos. You still not getting paid, bro. You gotta get into not only the partnership of it. You gotta have a certain amount of views within a certain amount of days, certain amount of subscribers. All that, bro. So you can't just say, oh, hey, man, I ain't got no guarantee. Nigga, you got a guaranteed check, nigga. I work too. Stop lying.
Work, I don't get paid. It's simple as that.
Yeah, but you have a guaranteed pay.
Guaranteed pay if you
No,
work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
gotta work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't
just
get paid
to
either.
collect.
We don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have people in the chat spinning L's. Oh, this is boring. We don't like this video. You have to create content. Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys like this stream?
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. F that. F this 9 to 5 shit.
If streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this
Now, this is funny as hell.
So why don't you
When
become
a
a streamer?
nigga need
Man,
business,
that's what I
hands
wanna
on
do.
table.
That
Nigga
F
said,
this 9 to 5 shit.
If streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
I get called fat all the time.
Oh, so what? I get called fat and chubby. All my homeboys call me chubby, fat,
Well,
whatever.
That's your homeboys, though. I'm going to keep it a buck. That's your
Yeah.
homeboy.
Yeah, and you right, homeboy, you right. But check this out. My nigga, I don't
Man.
give a fuck. I'm going to go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing flags.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
all right, so they 5-minute increments. All right, bet. Because I'll get me some good ass arguments off.
Flag, is there a reason you did
Yeah,
that?
because I was actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but I also had to deal with children.
We deal with children every day, too.
We deal with tens of thousands of children.
Very true.
The Lacey Thugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey Thugs are?
I can't go out in public without 10 kids coming up and asking for a picture. Do you know how hard that is of a life?
Isn't that
That is
special?
difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Forever.
Forever,
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's going to last forever. Having a job, being
That's
a
why you
cook,
gotta
you
grind.
have that security of, oh,
Very
I
true.
have a job, I have a degree.
I feel like
have
being
this.
with
I
a
don't-
streamer, bro, you gotta, like he said, you gotta be on top of everything that's going on. You gotta be damn near reacting. You damn near like, just like right now, like the IRL streams is the most popping thing right now. Like, not everyone can afford to do IRL streaming, buy a 30K backpack and be out here streaming. Now, the other things that you could do is doing what I'm doing, reacting to videos and stuff like that to try to blow up on YouTube. But to the same simple fact of that, it's like, you got to make sure you be reacting to the right things. And even then, like, when you doing that, like, you still won't get the amount of views that you think you're going to get. It's like, you got to still be grinding on top of this junk, bro. And that's one thing about YouTube and, like, being on stream and all that stuff. Like, none of this is guaranteed, bro. You doing this basically for fun. Like, if you doing this just for money, like, you're going to be disappointed a lot of these times. Like, you just going to be like, damn, where the money at? Where the money at? Where the money at? Because it's not going to be here right away.
This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
No, I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would
Job.
you do if you lost completely all your YouTubers?
Not a rage
you
baiting.
had nothing. No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually have to go to work. Oh my God, did I just cuss at you?
That's a slur. If I did lose all my followers, I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think that would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But
and
no,
stuff.
he lost everybody. He lost everybody. He
Nah,
has
that
no
don't kind of go
followers
like that.
That's
whatsoever. He would have to turn
yeah, but
around.
you're proving my point.
You would have
You're
to turn
proving my
around.
point. You're proving my point on why this is harder because I could lose it all
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but you could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there. You could be a private chef. You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still
Okay.
cook. You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
They not getting the point. They not even addressing the simple fact that it's security at the end of the week.
Red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlit your
They
Lacey.
ignoring that big point.
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal, I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find the 4 local cans. I I gotta make sure I get the 4 Loco can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work. Everybody has to do work.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you.
From the South.
35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing. But in the South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business.
Not the same times, though.
A 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3.
She
7 to
talking
8.
about something that's in the old times. Why are you talking about the 50s and the 60s, 2025? What is more harder?
p.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda,
you get spoiled.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done it?
get
What?
spoiled. No.
Rhonda,
you get spoiled and your mama and daddy keep
Rhonda,
giving it to you.
Rhonda,
Because
guys, I got a
did
question
it.
for Rhonda.
I
got a
did
question
it.
for Rhonda. Rhonda,
Yes.
have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
30 days straight.
24
days straight.
Day and night. No break.
We all streamed for
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards, see your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
If you know how
day
hard
were
it is
you a registered
to
nurse?
have.
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a
You-
3-minute ad?
You
When have you
clean
ever
up
ran? You
vomit,
never ran a
you
3-minute ad.
3-minute ad is
straight,
crazy.
Short-handed.
Talk about the fake relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Now keep.
It's fake
Think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person. We call them parasocials. They judge your
Parasocials.
relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and judging you.
caught with
based
my
on it.
ex
I
in
got caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health.
All right, crazy
When you
reach.
stop caring about what people
Crazy
think,
reach.
what they say about you, do you. Do you. And that's a big problem with younger people. You care about what people think. Social media, what they say about
Because
you.
that's our
That's
job.
our job.
You said you're a nurse, right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're helping with, the doctor, et cetera, or a 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh,
brother.
We're saving thousands, you're saving one.
All right, so you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yep.
My argument is that none of you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers, your
part of the
editors,
face team?
your producers. All these people back here are the ones doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
They didn't do anything.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the thing.
That's bad takes.
That's bad takes. That's bad takes.
I get what he's saying, but you still got to think money and all that. They still producing the content. They still producing the content. Rather, if I pay an editor to do this, like I still got to produce this content. Whatever you spend your money on is what you spend on your money on. It's like investing into a stock. You trying to get a return on it. That's what it is. They getting the return on the views.
They wouldn't have any work if it wasn't for us, though.
I like
would
that.
even go as far to say as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9 to 5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you
See,
know?
I have worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months, I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a year.
Why is she laughing? Bro, nah, she's making me mad.
I actually feel like they're wrong.
That I feel like that right there, bro. Come on, man. What you laughing for? Now, I will say this. And before, like, I kind of wrap up this video, like I said, this is a long video. So I will do another part 2 to this. Right after this one. This guy right here. I want to hear what he gonna say, and then we're gonna wrap it up and do our clips.
All right, Chris.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier
Yeah.
because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%. You have
Makes
security.
it easier
Talk about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5 people.
Yeah, raises as well. Pensions,
Job because
401k.
Yeah, when you go to work every day,
So
everyone's
you're
like,
basing the
There's no 401k dealing with streaming, bro. There's no guarantee retirement after you done streaming. Nigga, if you done streaming, you done streaming, bro. And you better hope that the money that you done made off that is gonna carry over.
Ease of a job
That's really
based
it.
on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
Well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9 to 5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9 to 5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay? That's one.
Yes, if we talking about money,
Foot Locker working at a job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer. Yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas. You have to stay relevant.
We're talking about.
Most definitely, that's the hard part.
We're talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to start with, though? But it doesn't
easier.
make. But
Well,
you're not
you
even.
started with
You're not
pay.
even. You keep switching it. So why don't
I'm
you
not
answer my
switching
question?
anything.
Yeah, you 100% are.
Yeah.
So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard? That's the thing. It's like what
Stuff
is
that you need
difficult.
creativity. You need to get out of your circle, comfort zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube.
much YouTube.
So it's the same thing. So the
Absolutely.
people that
Same
you're
thing.
entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true, but you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment.
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this
yeah,
is entertainment.
entertainment
But
as
my
a
question
job
to you
doesn't have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully
Yeah.
you sit here and
Right.
think that working at like a Foot Locker or something like that? I'm just using that because that's the best
Sure.
example.
Yeah,
Is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
In the
there's
sense of
hard
everyday
physically,
activity, because
there's
some
hard-
people around here said, "Oh, I got to wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m." Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
Some people do that.
And you deal with yourself.
No, we deal with millions
When
of people.
you're creating that content and you have your phone,
Okay.
you're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
You're not dealing with
Not true.
coworkers and you're not
That's not
dealing
true at
with-
all. I have an
Okay.
editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content, he loses
So when
a job.
you go to your job, when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, "Oh, we're not doing it anymore"? You lose your job.
If the work is picking up a phone or turning on a camera as opposed to going in with a bunch of people and having
I feel like what the point is, I feel like the older people right here are trying to say that what they're doing far as to make money is not hard. And obviously on the other side, the younger people over here that stream and everything, they are basically saying that, you know, of course, having a job is not as hard because you gotta guarantee check. Now, I feel like they both really kind of talking about money wise because they think they get money easy and they think the older people get money easy. Now, having a job is pretty stressful because you got to deal with so much with having a job depending on what you do. Now, streaming is also stressful because you could be putting in so much work and none of this stuff is paying off. And you do a video that you don't normally do that you ain't even thinking that's finna blow up. And that one blow up out of all the work you done put in. Now the gates is flooded. So all in all, and I'm gonna finish this video, especially if you guys is like interested into this. I'm gonna probably do parts. I honestly think that streaming is a lot more harder than it is to work a job. I would rather stream, and I would rather stream personally because I love to do it, and because like it's just fun. Like I feel like it's more something I would be doing like far as in my life than just working for somebody else. Like even if it was me, you know, like how he said he had invested into houses and stuff like that. Like I most definitely would invest into houses too because I'm kind of working for myself. Like having to do something like every day that you don't really want to do. That's most people that's working 9 to 5s. So I'm gonna do another part 2 to this, man. Make sure y'all drop a comment, like and subscribe, man. And I'm out of here.